Mr. President, are you a racist? Do you have aught against people of color simply because they're people of color? Do you spew divisive words that are hurled against Black people? Do you do this, Mr. President? Do you have something against Omarosa? Because she's a dark brown, chocolate brown, a deep chocolate brown. She's actually kind of cute. I always thought Omarosa was fun. She's just not really a Black person, though, is she? She's not. She doesn't really identify with us. But nonetheless, Mr. President, are you a racist, man? Do you take issue with Black folk, brown folk, or the American Indian, or people from Mexico, and every other race that's not Caucasoid, man, or European? Do you got issue with Black folk, Mr. President? What your problem is? Huh? Why ain't you got no Black folk in leadership? Call up Colonel Powell. Get him in there. Why you fire Omarosa and say you ain't know what happened? We know you know everything that go on in the White House, because you be tweeting all the time. Go and get Omarosa back up in there and tell that General so-and-so shit on down, because we need some colored folk in leadership. Mr. President, what your problem with Black folk is? You ain't never met no nice Black folk. You had all them preachers come up there during that meeting when you were running. All them Black preachers that wanted to be seen with you so they can take their little photo, their little one-time photo op. You look disgusting. You look like it looked like it irked your skin. It I had never been around this many Black people. It looked like, oh, can we just get this over with? Like, I can't see you doing that again. Did you bring hand sanitizer after you shook their hands? Like, okay. Did you do that? I bet your wife likes Black people a whole lot more than you do. I bet she does. We ain't got no issue with where's she from? Romania? Where's that? Black folk ain't got an issue with them. They're like darker skinned white people, aren't they? Ain't got no issue with them. Brunettes. But I'm just wondering, man, what your problem is with Black folk? What, we ain't cook you something that was good? We always got good cooking. But the problem is, Mr. President, what we done did to you. I mean, what can we do to you? You live in a tower of gold. What can we do to you? You live in a tower that has your name on it, and it's made of gold on the inside, in your condo, on the whatever floor that is, up in the sky. Basically, you live in a castle. What Black and colored folk had done you in your tower? Well, we ain't what? You went to one of your hotels and some maid didn't fold your bed down right. Now you got a problem with, you know what I'm saying? Dark-skinned folk all over the doggone world because some maid, didn't leave a mint on your pillow. Like, what did Black people ever do to you? I'm curious. What can Black people do to you? We can't vote you not to be the president. That didn't work. You lost the popular vote by 3 million and you still got in. So it's not like we have any effect there. I mean, you're pretty much untouchable when it comes to black people. You got a few coons to rub up against you and to endorse you. You got a few people who are having mental breakdowns, like Kanye West, even though I like his music. He was having a mental breakdown. His family got to him, his new family. Mr. West is in the building. But Kanye West is an egotist. So him coming to see you and saying, yeah, I'm a Stanby, you know, he's a narcissist, he's an egotist, and he's also very confused. Talking about slavery is a mental state or didn't have, or whatever he said about slavery. But yet he was quick to say George Bush doesn't like black people during that little a-thon he had. They were trying to get money for whoever. But nonetheless, you, Mr. President, you loving the black people. You did love all the black people and get on out of here. Why don't you just admit you're a racist? It's not like the white people are going to impeach you because you're a racist. I mean, calling Haiti a crap hole. Man, that's a country full of poor black people because America, ain't it? America did something to Haiti. And now didn't the Americans, Christians, just get discovered for having, sleeping with a bunch of children over there and shipping them off to America? They were stealing children from Haiti. But yet it's a crap hole. But you want their children so a bunch of Europeans can, have their way with their kids and sell them into labor and have them clean your house and pay them absolutely nothing. You don't want to give Haiti back their land, but you still want to, rape their land and their children. But it's a crap hole country. I'm just wondering, for the white people who don't think that Mr. President is a racist, what does it take when he didn't even acknowledge David Duke was the leader of the KKK? What does it take? Do you know who David Duke is? Who? I don't believe I met him. One of the most popular people in the world. One of the most influential people. Can't stand blacks, Jews, Hispanic people. That guy hanging black people, the KKK, the police, Sandra Bland, that's who hung her. You want to admit the president? Man, you're a racist. Everybody know you're a racist. But is it wrong to be a racist? Is it wrong for the president to be a racist? Because black folk didn't put you in office. And we can't take you out of office. Been calling for your impeachment ever since you walked in the door. Everything you do is wrong. You cheat on your wife, nobody cares. You talk divisively about people who are not white, nobody cares. You want to spend billions of dollars on a wall that's already there, nobody cares. You separate people from their families, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Well, there are people who really care about that. Yeah, they've been going at you. But you called on your corporate goons to go out there and quiet all that down, didn't you? Arrest all those people complaining about little girls being separated from their mommy and daddy. And we don't even know where the little girls are. Just take them off and do whatever to them. Arrest those people talking about, the First Amendment and talking about the rights that they don't have. Arrest those people right there. Human rights. You ain't got no human rights because you ain't human. You some type of off breed of a squirrel or something. That's what you're doing. You don't look at them as human. That's why you don't care. 15 million every 10 years. And that number's going up. Hispanics Hispanic people and or Spanish speaking people come into the country. Scared, ain't you? What, you guys are 245 million? Between 2010 and 2000, between 2000 and 2010, 15 million Spanish speaking people came into the country. You don't put that wall up, man. 15 million? That's a huge amount. That's a huge amount. I got news for you. You guys were at, in 2010, in 2000, white people was at 200 million almost. In 2000, that's in 2000. In 2010, you guys were at 194 million. You lost people. Now in 2016, you're at 245 people. So you had a nice little gain. Guess what? That's going back down, buddy. You and the American Indian losses between those 10 years. But the Hispanics people, the Hispanic speaking or Spanish speaking people, 15 million people. And that was in 2008. Mr. President, are you a racist? See, I believe that you are. And here's the thing, Mr. President. You know you's racist. So you don't like no black folk. You don't like no black folk. You don't like black people. You didn't get all them preachers to, you didn't come up there because you like black people. You don't even like coming around black people. You don't. You don't. And you don't have to, because the white people who run this country says, you know what, forget about them. And you're going to be like, but I created jobs. No, you didn't. Those jobs were already there. Jobs. How about doing something about all the police that are killing black people every day? How many black people get shot and killed by the police? And you told them that, hey, when they put them in the car, you don't have to be nice to them. What happened to due process? What happened to innocent until proven guilty? Not with you. You were like, if they're criminals, you could rough them up and put them in the car. What happened to the law? The law says that they're innocent until proven guilty. No, Mr. President, no more law? Okay. I think you're racist as hell. I think you always will be and always have been. You know? And I don't think you have any issue with it. Because America did not vote you into the presidency. Americans didn't vote you into the presidency. You were already going to be president. You lost the popular vote again by 3 million people, which means the American people on a whole did not want you to be the president. You became the president because of the Electoral College, which is a small group of people who decides who's really going to be president. You did it with George Bush twice. They're going to do it with you twice. Look, whoever runs for president against Donald Trump is stupid. You just waste a lot of money. And I hope it's somebody like Mitt Romney come out of retirement. He's a millionaire, isn't he? I hope he comes and runs against you. Let Al Gore run again. You know what I'm saying? Let you know, Reverend Sharpton or somebody went like that. I just want to see somebody just come out of, let LeBron James run up against you. That would be entertaining. How about Will Smith? He was like, yeah, I'm thinking about running for president. Yeah. It's like, for one, you don't have enough money. The one person I could run against president, against you, and it would make sense, but they would still lose, the only person who has a ghost of a chance to beat you is a woman. And you know what woman that is? Please don't say Hillary Clinton or, Huckabee or any of those, or this transgender governor that just came out of nowhere. None of them have a chance. Don't go get one of them Kennedys again and make her look like an El Stupido because she didn't want to pay taxes. She looked like a dumbass. She forgot what running for the president was. People investigate you. And they investigated her. Found out she didn't want to pay the people who worked for her, Kennedy. There's only one person that has a ghost of a chance at even beating. That's it. There's nobody else. Senator McCain, don't even do it. He'll get stomped. He just will. He'll get put in the dirt. Hillary Clinton, criminal. Too much criminal. No good. Only person that can come up against you and get some good votes, especially a popular vote. She'll win in the popular vote. It's only one. That's Obama's wife, Michelle Obama. She's the only one that's got the firepower to stand up against you. That's it. She's brilliant. She's been up there before. She knows her stuff. But she won't do it. She won't. She could easily be president. She would have enough backing to do it. She would have pretty much a bunch of the white people that backed her and her husband and already told her that she should run for president. But she won't. Even though her daughters are grown and out the house and they're empty nesters, they won't. Because they know what being in the White House is. It's foreign to them. It's foreign. It's not a place of change. You don't go in the White House and make change. And this is what Obama's problem was. He realized that he couldn't make change. And that's what he ran on. That's what his campaign was. Si se puede. Yes, we can. Well, guess what? He found out, no, he can't. That's what he found out. He was pissed when he left. Because although he can make small changes, he couldn't make the big ones. He couldn't touch the police. He couldn't dig into the 9/11 files. He couldn't go nowhere near none of that stuff. He had to bail people out through AIG. You think he wanted to do that? He knew who the crooks were. Building number 7 all of a sudden falls after insurance was taken out on building number 7 like 2 days before to get out of here. 9/11 had already happened. Then you're going to take out a huge $1 billion insurance? No. Then all of a sudden it falls because of a structure? No. That man got paid out the yin-yang because of that. Then the gay agenda. Oh, poor Obama. You guys sent him to Africa of all places to try to get the African nations, who are our allies, by the way, to accept the gay agenda. You know what they did? For one, do you know why they sent you over there, Obama? They sent you because you're African. Kind of like the same thing they did to this guy, Dallas Cowboy, recently. What's that dude's name? Prescott? Dak. They set him up to say that you shouldn't protest during the game. You know, I don't believe that you should protest. I believe, and look at all the backlash he got. You know why? Because he was set up by the Joneses. Jerry Jones and that other Jones guy. They say, hey, black guy, go out there and tell black people, shut up and sit on down. There's nothing to complain about. That's what he did. Dak. Who named you that? Dak. Come on. That's what they did. They Dak Prescott President Obama. They said, go to Africa. Tell the people over there that we want to see more gays. We want to see more gay rights because gay rights are human rights. Everybody's got the right to be gay. And the president rejected you openly in front of everyone. Was like, we will not accept the gay agenda on the microphone in front of everybody, news and everything. Absolutely not. And that was the end of the conversation. Because you can't make them do it. But just because the gay rights movements over here and people are getting married, man to man, woman to woman, doesn't mean it has to happen all over the world. Can't make them do it. See, Obama found out that he couldn't make the changes that he really wanted to. Remember, when Obama ran, he used "si se puede." Yes, we can. Why would Obama speak Spanish? Why did he say "si se puede"? Because the Hispanic or the Spanish-speaking population is the fastest growing. I believe that too, but you can't use that language, Mr. 12-year-old. Do not curse on my channel. Yeah, you got to find a better way to express yourself, but okay. Yeah, why did Obama use "si se puede"? Because he was catering to the large population of Hispanic people. It's growing like wildfire. I mean, they're everywhere. 15 million in 10 years. Every year, 1.2 million new Hispanic people are in the country. They're either coming over the border and or they're being born here. Now that's an intelligent remark. He should work at McDonald's. But just think about that. That's why he said "si se puede." Yes, we can. But he found out that he couldn't make the changes. Turned him into a liar. He said, yeah, we killed Osama bin Laden. No, he didn't. He reportedly killed Osama bin Laden. Then the people who supposedly killed him, they're not here anymore. And they say they dumped his ashes in the ocean. It's like, we're going to go out in the ocean and prove that. Who's going looking for Osama bin Laden? No one, because Osama bin Laden is here in America. The rest of his family. You know what they do for a living? They're architects. The bin Ladens are a bunch of architects. They're not hiding up in the hill of Kabul. They're here. All of them. Run around. Always have been. Obama found out the truth once he got in there. It's worse than King's Landing. You'll get a lot of attention. Nonetheless, this is why Michelle Obama probably won't run. But if she did, she could actually come close to winning. She'd win the popular vote, but she would lose the electoral votes. She would. The Electoral College would not let her in. They're going to let Donald Trump be the president again for another 4 years. They will. They'll get some goofy senator up there. The election won't even be worth watching. Because I'm going to tell you what the president's going to say. He's going to say, one, I created a bunch of jobs. You created a bunch of low-paying jobs. I don't even think you did that. Two, he's going to say, I helped build a wall or I started a wall. Like that's some accomplishment. You know why? Because that's what the Caucasian people want to hear. Three, he's going to talk about import exports. Four, he's going to talk about all the drugs that he stopped and all this. If you notice, there's a bunch of drug busts being stopped and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's going to talk about that. I stopped a bunch of drugs. And he's going to bring up those numbers. All these numbers that to the regular average working person who doesn't do drugs, I mean, none of us. I mean, thanks. But the things that affect our everyday life is not some drug dealer running around on the street. Because guess what? You're not going to stop them all because you want them to come into this country. It's a business. If there are no drugs coming in and out of the country, then you don't need the border police to try to stop it. The highway police, the police you got out there on the water, the military you have on the water to stop that stuff from coming in. We know one of the presidents was the biggest drug dealer in history. And who was it? President Reagan. That's why his wife was going, hey, what was she saying? She said, say no to drugs. She might as well have said it like that. Say no to drugs. Because her husband was a huge drug dealer. He was using the CIA to do it. He created a lot of those Hispanic cartels. They created it. And you know what? That boiled into the Obama administration. It was called Fast and Furious, just like the doggone movies, except it wasn't about cars. It was about AK-47s. What they did, him and Eric Holder, this is what Donald Trump did. This is not Donald Trump. This is what President Obama did. What they did was they knew about, the Nicaraguans and all those people doing all that stuff over there. They know that because they fund them. So what they do? They took a bunch of AK-47s and they marked the serial numbers on them and they wrote down all the serial numbers on these AK-47s and they sent them to the drug lords. Here you go. You know what they were trying to do? Track down who would get the AK-47s by doing what? Having the police catch them. You know what the problem happened? One, the police over there are in it too. They're playing both sides. They're crooked as heck. Two, one of those AK-47s shot an American border police and killed him. And wherever a bullet comes out of an AK-47, it has a fingerprint on it. And guess what that led back to? The White House. Exactly. Who saw that coming? One of those guys shot a border police. Once the police looked and saw the serial number on it, they tracked down the serial number. That serial number led them right up to the White House. Once it led them to the White House, the news broke. And when the news broke, guess who took the fall? Eric Holder. That's why he was out of there. It's the only reason why Eric Holder left. He was replaced after that. Obama replaced him. America is the biggest drug dealer there is. We're the ones who fund all those people and all those gang members. And then we sit up there and cry about them. That's why I'm like, don't tell me about how much drugs you stopped from coming in the country. Because if you were really trying to stop them, you wouldn't have gave them AK-47s. I'm not trying to hear that. America has been in bed with, the cartel. I don't know what that means. We've been in bed with the cartel. We're the ones who created them. The CIA created them. The CIA created bin Laden. Yeah, the CIA created bin Laden. And before that, we created we were allies with Gaddafi. We were allies with when I was about to go to war in 91. We was allies with Saddam Hussein. He was our ally. And then we turned around and told a lie on him just so we can go over there and start war. Because war is profit. You notice how we've always been at war? Name me one time when we have not been at war. I don't know, bro. There's 4 people listening, but you got to understand there's a lot of people who are older and they listen because they're looking for information. A lot of times this is an information channel instead of, other things. And some people listen while they're at work. That's another thing too. You're 12 years old. A lot of these people are like 30 and up. And so, yeah, that's what happened. Like, so all these things being said about Donald Trump, it's just being recycled. And here's the thing about recycling something. You get used to it. You do. Okay, if you live in a quiet town and all of a sudden there is a UFO, somebody saw a UFO, you're like, wow, man, it's crazy. Everybody talking about it. UFO. And you see another one the next day. Yeah. Then you see another one the next day, then the next day, and just like, oh yeah, they go the same UFO. It's the same thing with murders, the police killing people. Let's march through the street. Well, now it's so frequent, we don't even know who we're marching for. We don't know. You notice how the crowd of marchers are getting smaller and smaller and smaller? Because it's hard to sustain. It's just like, I don't even know who I'm marching for now. Randy Moss has a tie with a bunch of names of people who just got recently killed. I mean, there's so many people that Stephon Clark, and now, the kid in Pittsburgh, somebody just the other day in New York. It's just so frequent. It desensitizes you. Just like, you're just worn out. You don't know which way you're marching anymore. Stephen A. Smith said people should just march on Washington. For what? For what, Stephen? The police union isn't going to change. Those guys are protected. It's not going to change. The president isn't going to come down on them. He doesn't even want to acknowledge that David Duke is a KKK member. Who in the world doesn't know who that is? Or who in America doesn't know who that is? Like, get out of here. There's no question the man is a racist. Then you get some black people saying he has done so much for black people. I'm like, what? Tell me what he's done. Because if you're not stopping people from getting shot dead in the street from just walking down the street or driving down the street, we don't really care what else you're doing. I can't get into my car and drive to the store and drive home safely without fearing that I'm going to get pulled over and harassed and shot dead just because some cop wanted to. I could have my hands up. I can comply. I can yes or no, sir, 3 bags full. But as soon as they say, can I have your driver's license? And I go, okay, it's in my pocket. I'm going to go and get it. Okay, go ahead. Don't reach for it. Pow, pow. He had a gun. I feared for my life. Then you get millions of people who will support him. Yeah, he had a background. His background was, shoot. I think he ate popcorn in church once. Got a ticket for that. The smear campaign starts immediately. They tried to smear a 13-year-old boy who was sitting in the park playing with a BB gun. The cop shot him in 2 seconds and killed him. They tried to smear him. Then they sent his parents a bill for $500 for the ambulance. Fear is an understatement of what black people are living in when it comes to the cops. Then the cops tried this campaign of being nice and stopping people and giving them $100. For the few people that you gave $100, that was nice of you. But then the murders just escalated. Next thing you know, it's almost hitting home. Statistically, it's only a small matter of time before it's somebody you know. Then they do the whole court dance and the judge says, man, they're free to go. It's only a matter of time. It's already hit home for me. My brother knew someone who didn't get killed by police, but got killed by white people. Name, John Berg. Don't know who it is? Look it up. You know what? For a 12-year-old, that's a very intelligent comment. Yes, this is true. Or the China situation. So China and the Africans have made a deal. See, China is going to bring Africa back up. And every time you see Africa, there's people, flies, and there are big cities in Africa that are doing great. Okay, I don't believe everything you see. But China needs people. Africa is full of people. China's running out of space. So they're just like, hey, we'll give you guys loans that we know we'll never get back so you can build an infrastructure. Wakanda forever, Wakanda not at all. But anyway, so you can build an infrastructure. So they're starting to build infrastructures in the place where the UN allowed all these murders and stuff to happen just so they could steal their children. That's really what they were doing. See, China, when it comes to United Nations, when it comes to those meetings, you get three countries that don't show up. One of them's China. The other one's Russia. And the other one is Iran. President is Ahmadinejad. They don't show up. They don't care what you have to say. And now you got China over there in Africa, in all kind of African countries, because they're like, listen, we'll get you guys up and running. You work for us. Just do your thing. We'll help build, like this is what Akon is doing. Electricity, all that stuff. We'll help build this place up. And I'm telling you, it's going to, 20 years from now, you're going to see a huge, huge boom in people going to Africa. You're going to see it. African Americans are going to be going to Africa in droves. Why? Money. They're going to find good jobs over there. They're going to find there's land, good jobs, beautiful people. It's just all waiting to get built up. Well, there's every race, every nationality has racist people. So you'd be foolish to think that black people are not racist. You'd be foolish, young man, because there are a lot of black people who are racist. But nonetheless, there's going to be a race for Africa. It's going to be like the new land, the new world. And here's the thing. Right now, the Africans are trying to kick white people out because of the way they got their land. See, the Asians are going over there and adding to the land. So the black people and the Asians over there, they're not in love with each other. It's business. That's understood. But the white people went over there and raped and killed and stole the land. So now they're like, you guys need to get out of our land. And we're not paying you nothing. We're giving you so much time, get out of our land. And that's what's going on right now. Now see, if the white people were smarter, they would have never did that. But they raped Africa. A very, very, very large continent, and they separated it amongst themselves. But they couldn't hold it. It's just like if you read these stories of war, you'll see how conquest, which is what it was. Here's the problem with conquest. For one, if you're going to conquer another person's land, you need 1, a lot of people, 2, a lot of resources, 3, you need to be able to hold it. If you can't hold the land, and all those murders you committed were for naught. And eventually, you're going to get ran down. If you spread yourself too wide, you're going to have to defend all of the walls that you created. Now, it's possible if those people that you invaded actually worked for you, but you invaded them. You didn't go and bargain with them and say, hey, would you like to come into our empire? If you do, this is what we'll offer you. No, You marched into the empire and you slaughtered thousands of them. This is what Rome did. You know what happened to Rome? They got invaded. They got invaded by the Britons. They were too busy worried about the Germanic tribes. So they would go off and run off and try to fight the Germanic tribes. But the Britons was like, nah. Then the Huns was like, yeah, we're coming to see you. And they invaded them. Thing about Rome was there's Rome in the east and Rome in the west. Rome in the east fell. Western Rome didn't. This is where you get your Bible from, Constantine. The Bible was written not by Constantine, but Constantine became the first Christian emperor, which was an oxymoron because the emperor was hanging the Christians. If you read your Bible, you'll see all that in there. They were lighting them on fire and using them as street lamps. But Constantine was like, you guys do that over there. We're not doing that over here. And he became the first Christian emperor. And then he had what's called the Council of Nicaea, 70 men, and they got a bunch of books together, and there's your Bible. I remind you of your dad. He talks a lot and he has a beard. It's probably because he's wise. Is a president racist? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the president's racist. What are you going to do? Impeach him? They tried that already. They can't impeach the president. You got them talking about girls and locker room talk. That doesn't matter. If Obama would have done that, it would have been hell and high water. It doesn't matter. You're never going to get him out of there. Hell, he might even run for a third term. And if you think it's not possible, it's called an executive. It's not an I think it is an executive decision. I think it's an executive decision where he can force a third term. They thought Obama was going to do it. I talk a lot and I have a beard. You know why I talk a lot? Because I have a lot of stuff up here. That's why I talk a lot. I have a lot up in there. And I like to research. That's another thing. I like to research the facts, especially when I think I'm wrong. I'm like, let me check on that. Yeah, you got a lot to say. Nothing wrong with that, bro. Just check your facts. This is why I'm trying to go to law school. I just graduated. Well, I graduate next month, but I'm done with school. But I'm trying to go to law school. So I'm trying to petition the military to pay for my law school and or my master's degree because I'm older. If I was 30, I would have a better chance of getting a job and, but I'm 50, so I'll be age discriminated against, which I already expect. They would rather hire a 21-year-old than a 50-year-old. Somebody just coming off a disability. That's not sexy. Be like, nah, we're going to hire this 21-year-old. But if I'm an attorney, I don't have to worry about that because I can just start my own practice. Not to mention, a lot of attorneys are older. They are. Nobody is looking at an attorney 60 years old and going, you too old to be an attorney. How old are you? Oh, man, you don't find no attorneys that old, man. They done by then. You don't ever hear nobody say that. Because you got judges that are 70, 80 years old. You really do. You have some old judges and that. I think they got that way. No. Don't even do that. I have a lot in common with a 12-year-old. No, because that sounds weird. No, you just say, we just have a lot in common. And then there's a lot of commonality between personalities. That's the educated way of saying it. You look at personalities. Now, personality doesn't have an age to it. Once you get, an age of comprehension. Because you have children who have the same personality as their parents. And they're babies. And you're just like, look at how they act. They act just like you. You can tell that's your child. So personality is a way of, but when you start mentioning ages, people go, well, so say we have the same personality. That is widely acceptable and it's safe. But yeah, the president racist. I fear that he is, but I fear that it doesn't matter. It's disconcerting. It's disconcerting. It's a problem that is so much in your face. It's like, what are you going to do about it? Last time I checked the census, there's only 37 million of black people here. There's 245 million white people. What you going to do? Outnumbered 3-1. Oh, there's no doubt about that, bro. Especially if you run, because I ran a lot when I was a kid. A lot. I was a runner. Played a lot of sports. And my buddies, we were all alike. We ran, danced a lot. We were always outside. We were always active. So a bunch of those guys were my friends. We weren't introverts. We were definitely extroverts. 12 years old, shoot, man, I did everything that I could. I couldn't sit still. Couldn't sit still. I was in talent shows and all kinds of stuff. So, and I encourage you to do the same. Put the video games down. They're not important. Go outside and learn how to do stuff. If it wasn't for my knees, I'd be running right now. I would be. It's a good day to run. It's got a nice overcast, so it's nice and cool. It's the best time to run. The sun is not out. Got a nice little breeze, so it keeps you cool over distance. I'd be out doing about 3 miles. Probably clock it in about 25 minutes or less. Put the PlayStation down. Go outside, man. Get in the grass. We used to go hunting for crayfish. I tell you, when I was a kid, man, I was a real kid. Like we roller skating, ice skating. I know how to ice skate. I know how to braid hair. I know how to needlepoint, crochet. I can do that. Draw, sing, play instruments. I do all that. One time somebody is like, how is it that you can do so many things? I said, because this is what you did when we were kids. You guys stay inside and play Donkey Kong and all that other goofy games. For us to play Donkey Kong, we had to leave the house to go across the street to Burt's Market. That's what it was called. We raced in the street. We lived on a one-way street, and we ran down that street every day. Every day, hundreds of us. Basketball, fighting. We did it all. I would literally sometimes, what I do in the dead of winter, slush and snow outside. Heck yeah. There you go. It's called being ambidextrous. Snow outside, you know what I do? I would show off in front of this girlfriend I had. She lived about 1.5 miles from me. I would run to her house and miss the bus on purpose. She was faster than me, but I was a middle distance runner. And that was a way of me showing off. And she liked the fact that I could run. So I was like, that's cool. You know, I was a little, nappy haired boy. So any girl that paid me, some mind, I was just like, she was cute. She was cute. I was just like, heck yeah, you want to go with me? She was like, yeah. I was like, okay. We was in middle school. And she was on track. And I was like, oh, you run track? I raced her one day. She ran past me like I was standing still. Her name was Latrice. I'll never forget her. She'll never forget me either. She'll never forget me because I almost got beat up over her one day because I knew some other dude liked her. And I confronted him in the best way I could without getting my face beat in because I couldn't beat him. But the thing about him was he was actually a nice guy. He was in high school, I think. He was stronger than me, faster than me. I would have lost. But it's the simple fact that I was like, yo, I was like, yeah, you so-and-so, right? He was like, yeah. I was like, Treese is my girl, don't you? He was like, you don't own her. I was like, just stay away from her. And it got back to her. I don't know what they did, if they did anything. All as I know is that was mine. And I was like 14. And I mean, just the size of this dude, I was like, I know I'm going to get beat up, but hey, I'm going for Delph right now. And that was just that. Matter of fact, I saw him in an arcade in one of them corner stores. He was playing a game and I saw him. His name was John. And I went to the game beside him and I was just like, and he knew who I was. You know what I'm saying? He was a big football star. He knew exactly who I was. He was like, you don't know her. I was like, okay. I knew they liked each other, but she was mine. And I thought she was cheating on me with him. When we got older, I saw her, I was about maybe 21 or something. And I ran into her. She had a little girl. I was older than 21 because she had a little girl, like maybe 24 or something. And I looked at her and she saw me. She recognized me. I was like, how you doing? She's like, fine. And we sat down and we talked. And I said, did you ever cheat on me with John? And she said, you've been waiting all this time to ask me that. She said, I never cheated on you. Never. It's like, cool. Never saw her again. But I was waiting all that time to ask her that. But she made my day. So she helped me get out there and I'm not telling you to go get some nappy head girl to help you and to encourage you. But I was fascinated with females back then, so it didn't take much. But nonetheless, I was a real active boy, and so I got around a bunch of active, people. I didn't hang around the people who just did nothing. I hung around people who would go running for just miles just to go do it. And this is in high school. We would just take off. 4 or 5 mile hike, or a walk. 10-mile walk. It's just what we did. We were like Indians, man. We were just trekking it. No bus, no nothing. Just get a hump in your back. Let's go. And it ended up paying off. It ended up paying off. I could still do that stuff today. I just got injuries that slow me down. But if my knees and stuff wasn't all messed up, my back wasn't messed up, I'd be 60 pounds lighter, still out there running like a champ. I do it all in weights now. I'm 51 years old. I can bench press 335. Yeah. Because I can't run anymore, so I have to put it into something else. So it paid off being active. My body still responds to the stuff that I did as a kid. Stay flexible, stay smart. Stay smart, whatever you do. Stay wise. Always watch your surroundings. If somebody's talking crazy and loud, you just see what they talking about, good chance you don't want to be around that person. Not unless everybody's talking loud. Y'all just, yeah, that's a whole different energy. But you gotta watch the people who show off. Know what your weakness is. If you're weak in your left hand, practice more with your left hand. Don't encourage no fights. I got knocked out once doing that. I got stunned twice and I got knocked out flat once in high school. I looked away and I got hit. And I woke up somewhere else. But when I woke up, I had to make a decision. The principal said, if you go after him, I'm kicking you out of school. I had to think on my feet. You either graduate or you go beat the hell out of this guy. I graduated. Never fought the guy. Which one is worth it? Your pride and your anger or being smart? I learned. You get ready to get in a fight with somebody, don't look away. Always keep eye contact and a good distance. Don't ever argue like this. That's how you get a check hook to the face. Ever. Don't start no fight, especially if you're not prepared. Don't do it. I don't know what you're talking about. But, oh yeah, In My Feelings. I know the song In My Feelings. But be creative. I mean, if I had a 12-year son, this is what I tell him the same thing. Be creative. Go out and create. That's what you're here for. I don't care if it's a stick figure. As a matter of fact, when I was 12, I entered in a competition for, I think it was for like $50 was the winning. I entered in a competition and it was a creative competition to see what you can make. And I won. Couldn't believe it. Over 300 people. And I won. You know what I made? I made this little cross and this thing that looked like Jesus was on a cross. It just took them by surprise because they knew what it was when they saw it. And but when I was making it, people didn't know what it was. And I was just sitting there going, tinkering with it. And my teacher looked at it, she said, "What is it?" And I said, "It's Jesus on a cross." And she kind of like, "Oh, I can see," that type of thing. Like, it's just something I'm saying, be creative. You never know. Okay, yeah, your song. Yeah, be creative. Write songs, write poetry, write a book. Write a book about being 12. Who cares? Who cares if nobody reads it? And don't get upset if nobody. Look, I wrote a book over 10 years ago. It's published on Lulu.com. It's called The Sorrowed King. Not one person has read it. Not one. But now that I'm graduated, I got time. I'm going to make it an audiobook. It'll start getting downloaded like that as soon as I'm finished with it. Because people like audiobooks. Like, don't be discouraged if one thing doesn't work or if it doesn't work now. Because everybody think because they're who they are that it's going to work out for them. Oh, it didn't work out for you, buddy, because you're not me and I'm me. It's going to work out. No, it didn't work out because it wasn't supposed to. If it's supposed to work for you, you prepared for it to work for you. That's the first thing you do. Be prepared. Yeah, I'm your bro, man. I don't mind giving young people advice. Because you're going to trip and fall and bust your whole face. You know what I'm saying? But if you're still alive, guess what? You got to get back up. You might trip and fall and bust your whole face, the next step. But if you're still alive, You can't just lay there. You know how many times I done tripped and fell and busted my whole face? I can't tell you, man. I done fell for the wrong girl. I bought the wrong car. I rented the wrong apartment. I had the wrong friends. You know what I'm saying? I worked at the wrong job. Okay, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have fell down one way or another, and I'm still alive. I'm gonna fall down again. I'm sure I will. But you know what I think of every day when I get up? How not to fall down. Before I get up in the morning, I think, but that's life. That's what I'm saying. But if you're prepared, you'll do a lot less falling. That's it. People say, oh, college degree. Listen, don't listen to them. If what you want is a college degree, then go and get it. That's it. Don't listen to, oh, it's not going to do this or it's not going to do that. Find some grants. There are plenty of grants out there. You don't have to get loans. Be smart. Find grants and do it. Don't let people tell you, oh, it's not worth having a college degree. Ask them, do they have a college degree? Oh, it's not worth it. Do you have one? No, man, but well, then you can't tell me if it's worth it or not. It's just like saying, man, South Carolina is a crazy place, man, but you ain't ever been there. It's not worth going. You ever been to South Carolina? Nah, well then how do you know? Let me go to South Kakalaki and find out. Now there are some places that everybody know that's crazy, but it's just like sometimes you got to get on the bus, Gus, and go find out. That's what I'm telling you. Travel, go see, man. I've been to several different countries. Go. Just go. I knew this one guy, he was just like that. I know a couple of them. Well, that's not good. That statement right there tells me something. You haven't done your research, but you're 12. I don't expect you to be a Rhodes Scholar, but why not be a Rhodes Scholar? You're 12. You know what I'm saying? Going on 13. Going on 33. It goes by fast. Life comes at you fast. That is a very true statement. I'm telling you, you'll be graduating out of high school pretty soon. You'll be like, dang, I just had this conversation yesterday. Just trying to tell you. A 12-year-old boy, what do you have to look forward to? Getting up the next day. You got school coming up. School's coming back around. You got new friends to meet if you're going to a new school. You know, you got, old friends if you're going to the old school. You know what I'm saying? You're in a new grade. You know what I'm saying? If you're past the last one. The football team, if you're an athletic person. But don't forget math and science. Don't forget chemistry, biology. That's what you are. Don't just ignore those classes or I don't want to go to those classes. Find out why, it's why the world is. Gravity, light, dark. Investigate. Be nosy. That's what you do at 12. You're not paying nobody's bills. Your job is to be extremely nosy and curious. Find some books. Go outside and look at the grass and pick it up and wonder, why is this? Why is it? Why is this leaf green? What makes it green? Start getting into chlorophyll, sclerenchyma, all those other things. Cell structures. Be nosy. Why? Look at your skin and wonder what it is. Melanin. What makes melanin? And why is melanin so important? Why? Because it blocks some of what the damages that the sun can harm. So you have people who have skin cancer, but you notice they're not very dark. I have never been sunburned. Never. But I spent most of my childhood outside. Never been sunburned, not once. I don't know what it is to be sunburned. I used to look at white people and go, What's wrong with you? They go, I'm sunburned. Wasn't even outside for half an hour. I would still be out there all day. Be nosy. That's what you should be. You should be asking your parents why until they ask you to stop asking them why. But don't be an annoying why. Be a curious and a smart why. Be a, why are these rocks not like these rocks? You know what their answer is going to be? Find out yourself. And that's your mission. Find out what is a sediment rock. Find out the difference. There's like 4 different types of rocks. Find out. That's your job. Your job is to find out. That's what you do with all that energy. Your cells are growing and dying at an enormous, alarming rate because you're growing. Every second, you're growing. Find out why. Next thing you know, you'll be one of those people who can rap and have an education. I make music and I have a college degree. You'll find a lot of rappers who are like that. You find a lot of rappers who have college degrees, but they'll sit up there and rap about the dumbest things. Lil Wayne, college degree, smart as a whip. You find a lot of rappers, they have 4-year college degrees. I don't know how he got his degree, but he's got some kind of something. Smart. Lil Wayne is highly intelligent. He's got a lot of common sense. But he raps about terrible stuff because it pays him. So it's not like I'm going to forget about college because I want to be a rapper. Where do you think those words come from? The dictionary. Find out what they mean. Don't be just some goofy rapper talking about drugs and guns and big booty chicks. Everybody knows them. Yeah, Chance the Rapper is a smart rapper. Like, it's not like educated rappers is a lost. They're like dinosaurs. Get out of here. There's Kendrick Lamar. That dude is brilliant. You go to him and tell him that you don't want a college education because you want to follow your rap career. He'll probably hang up the phone on you or walk away from you. It's not one doesn't overshadow the other. They both coincide. But you don't have to go into debt and get a college education. You know, you can use the military and have them pay for your college education. You could work at a job that has reimbursement, that has college reimbursement. There's a lot of jobs that are doing that now because they put you in a contract. They're like, okay, you know, we want you here. We want you to be able to grow at this job. This is not a job that you're just going to be there for, you know, a year and be out. This is a job that you'll go to and they want you to stay there. They want you to, it's not just a job, it's a career. Now they're, you know, tuition reimbursement. Look for those type of jobs where you can further your education. Not only that, look to see if that type of job is a corporation, like a healthcare. If you work in a healthcare facility, see if that healthcare facility is attached to a bunch of other ones. So whenever if you don't want to work for that facility no more, you make a lateral movement, but yet your finances go up. So if you're a male nurse over here, you know what I'm saying? You're an LPN, but you want to be an RN, but where you're at, they don't have RNs, or there's only one RN because that's all that they need, but yet they're connected to another healthcare facility and they have an RN program over there, then guess what? Swing. I'm going to come over there and they're going to educate you. They're going to be like, okay, you know, go back to school. It's a year or two, whatever it is. If you're interested, you work here. We pay your Now you're an RN because they need RNs, especially males. Male RNs get paid more than female RNs because of our strength. We can lift up a lot more people than they can. It's just the way it is. So I'm just saying, like, it's not either rapper or college. It's both. Because when your rap career is over, your college career, your what you learned in college, your degree will not dissipate. You can only get more educated. That's it. You'd be like, I want a master's. Like, I just graduated, but now I want a master's. I want a master's degree, or I want a law degree. I actually want both. I want my master's and a law degree. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and go. But you can do it, man. Like I said, be smart. 7th grade, yeah, man. You'll be graduating high school pretty soon. It just comes at you fast, bro. You take it easy, man. Stay wise.